Hey, what's going on, everybody? This fragged out, swagged out, and you already know why I'm here. Today, I'm gonna go over a fragrance that I've had about 5 days, something like that, so far. Um, it came by recommendation of Equality Fragrance once again, and actually, Cubano has spoke about this fragrance. That's the only two reviewers I've seen really talk about this enough to make me want to look further into it. So the fragrance house is Savoir Faire. I think they also make shades, and they might have some other products there. But I showed up for the fragrance, and this one specifically. And the fragrance I'm talking about is Soul Café. Soul Café, you can see it there. And this kind of got a buzz going. It definitely has a hype behind it. Some of it comes from the actual brief for the fragrance, and some of it comes from the reviewers that I've seen already. But to give you an idea of what this fragrance is supposed to represent or how it's supposed to behave on the wearer, at least from the perspective of the fragrance house or the company, the brief reads on the webpage as follows. This is made to be intensely personal and intimate, sexual even. Not the nice, we've dated for 2 months first and discussed previous history and future expectations. This is fiery and passionate, with reckless abandon. Knowing your craving being satisfied will justify everything else that follows. Wear this to partake in the devouring. Everything is on the table at Soul Cafe. So, that lets you know what vibe they was already on when they was coming up with this. That lets you know how the notes are supposed to interact with you and each other, and what's supposed to be the effect at the end of the day. Soul Cafe is sexy. Soul Cafe is inviting. Soul Cafe has this way of it was built to fulfill that brief. It was built to do things, and of course, there's no such thing as a magic fragrance that makes people want. But I'm saying, when you are ready with that person, okay, that person who's been thinking about it and they ready to make a decision today, or that person who is intimate with you, that's when this shines, because it has this way of, from the opening to the dry down, man. The opening, number one, so inviting. Like, it's just, first of all, it's sharp. It's sharp in the sense that, like, I feel it. I feel this citrus. That immediately it's just mouth watering from the opening. That's man, that is just a crazy opening. So I'll go over the notes real quick. The notes are tobacco, bergamot, blood orange, black pepper, patchouli, private musk blend. So that's an in-house secret right there for them. Amber wood, oud, lavender, Arabic coffee, and firewood. God, everything is in there. Everything that matters is in there. Like those notes, if I read them at a glance, I would feel like none of them really are supposed to be with the with another one in there. Like, it's just firewood and blood orange and musk. You have, like, it's just, to me, these notes come together every so often to make something amazing, because if you don't do it right, this can go terribly. And they did it right here, man. As soon as you open it, man, let me just get a spray real quick, because this is. So I have the dry down right here, or it's just drying down as we speak. But this right here, that opening, it's you get a little bit of that tobacco, that sweetness from that really moist back tobacco. But what really you get here is that citrus, man, and it's a tangy citrus, but it's a very sugary citrus at the same time, and both of those are really intertwined in that opening. It's enough that, like I said, it has that tanginess that it makes your mouth water, but it's like juicy fruit for real. This is like if it stood like this the whole time, it wouldn't be disappointing. This is juicy. This is it, man. Like I said, the opening by itself feels like it could be a summer anthem all day. This very bright, juicy, fruity, citrusy, sugary, sexy opening, and it's just coupled together with that with that dark sweetness from the tobacco, but it's not dark enough to make this a dark fragrance. It's just enough to not be super bright and bubbly, but still just super, like you can taste you can taste what you're smelling. That's how real it is. And with the pepper and the patchouli, again, I don't really feel that I see where they really stand out. And personally, when I see a lot of notes like this and none of them really stand out, it just really speaks to the quality of the blending of a lot of these notes. And that I don't really get a strong patchouli vibe, but what I do get as soon as that brightness dies down is that coffee trying to come up. And I feel like that happens through the entire fragrance. Like at no point do you feel like this is a coffee fragrance, but you continue to feel like that coffee just getting just really small whiffs where you feel like this might turn into a coffee fragrance, but it never becomes a coffee fragrance. It's enough to keep you just hooked in with that. Just trying to create a little bit darker, something more personal, something more face to face, something more skin. And if you want to smell like coffee, you're gonna have to get on that skin for real. So firewood and oud. I never really feel like I get firewood or oud. I'm not saying it's not there. I'm saying that as it dries down and a lot of that brightness dies down, but you still have some of that citrus. You still have a lot more of that tobacco now, and that coffee's trying to come through. You get something darker happening. You get a darker. It's still sweet. It's not quite what I would call woody, but I feel like the wood is what's starting to create that darker, still sweet fragrance. That coffee is coming through. And again, I never get that fiery wood. And I don't know if I'm thinking burnt wood and fiery wood supposed to be, but it just, I never get what I feel is really dark in here. Now, really important about this fragrance, for me anyway, that lets you know why it's fresh the entire way through. Even as it darkens down, it's still this very clean, and I should say clean, not really fresh, but this clean smell. If you ever smell pure musk oil, like Arabic musk oil, you straight out the bottle when it's still not cut, not mixed with anything else, it's just really clean, really clean, musky smell that comes from it. And this fragrance says they have a private musk blend. So I'm assuming that a lot of work went into this blend to ensure that it is clean and it is like something that really stands out. And what you get from it is a very clean smell throughout the entire fragrance. And all these notes really just marry themselves into this musk. So that bergamot, when it's tangy, it's a really clean tanginess, and that blood orange, even though it offers a sugary smell to it, but it's very clean. Everything as it transitions to the patchouli, to the woods and the Arabic coffee, all of it has this really clean musk smell that if you're a fan of musk, you're going to get that. You're going to see that happening throughout the entire fragrance. And if you're not, all you're going to know is that all these notes really just blend so well one with the other. And that musk is what really helps that happen. These notes, yes, it's a lot of them, but I really can't point out a moment where I felt like one note really started taking over the other ones. They just really do what they're supposed to do. They start with this really big scent bubble around you, which kind of attracts that person you want to come in. And then as it dries down into this darker, yet still sweet fragrance, it's still calling. Because like I said, that coffee makes you want to come in. If you want to smell more of that Arabic coffee on the skin, and as it blends with that patchouli, you're going to have to come in. So it creates an entire event of, just getting personal. But as the read says, it can be sexual even. So I think that's what it's hinting for with this one. Man, it will go through time on the website where they sell out because, like I said, a buzz is definitely creating for this fragrance. They have 2 other fragrances that I want to check out. But the company is Savoir Faire. You can check them out online. They have a Instagram channel as well. $125 for a fragrance like this is just hard to find. If you would have made this a big glass bottle with a big metal top and a wooden box, easily $350, and no one would even bat an eye at it. And that's the reality. you're getting a crazy, crazy fragrance that you can wear anywhere, to work, to the gym, to the office, to the I feel like it's a chameleon, and wherever you want to wear it, that's where it shines for that particular thing. This fragrance is an everyday fragrance for me. And at 125, I'm glad because I can order another one because this is a banger. They have a couple other fragrances. This is also a black-owned company, and if you're in the United States, and you come from like where I come from, the Bronx, so that means a lot to me to help support a company that's making quality fragrances. I wouldn't say support something just because of a cause if you didn't really believe it in the first place. I'm just saying, if you're gonna support a cause, support somebody who's really putting quality behind something. And this company is definitely standing out for the quality juice, man. I really don't care about bottles, but even if you do, it's still a decent enough bottle, textured paper in the front. But the fragrance is what I'm here for. And as far as fragrance goes, if they would have charged double, triple, and put it in a different presentation, or a different brand would have said it was theirs, you would have bought it. And then everybody and the mother would have been talking about it on YouTube, on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. So if you get the opportunity, smell it. And if you do, post something about it. Give the company more shine, because they're coming up and they're making some good fragrances from what I've seen. So check them out. Cafe Soul. That's where it's at for today. Fragged out, swagged out, and I'm out.